Well, welcome to the podcast, man.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. You are uh, Ninja Ben. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what I go with for my like Gmail and stuff like that, just because there's nothing that's Ben Smith that isn't taken already. Um, yeah.
Right.
So, but for Airsoft, I've been starting to go by Ghost Bones. If you've seen in Gibber's Airsoft's latest
Yeah.
video, I've just have something different for Airsoft, so it's just not Ninja
Oh,
Ben.
okay.
But yeah,
Oh, I didn't know. No, I never
yeah,
saw it
no,
on
I mean
his
it's
video.
literally just started. I was like,
Oh, okay.
it's because I'm
Okay.
going to start contributing more and more videos for him
Yeah.
and for John at Shot Tactics.
Yeah.
And I was like, if I want to do this, I might as well like brand myself, seeing as
For
how I'm a
sure.
graphic designer and all about branding.
Oh, are you?
So
Oh, okay.
yeah, so
Awesome.
I designed up. Actually, you can see in the TV back there my Ghost Bones
Yeah, you
logo.
got the. Yep.
And so whenever you're watching either Gibby or John's videos, if you see in the little bottom corner Ghost Bones, that's from one of my cameras. Because I bought a bunch
Gotcha.
of other. I had several GoPros and scope cams, but I bought a couple of more just to so I can get all the good footages. I got one of the 360 cameras and stuff, so
Oh, dude,
I
that's
have
what I
some
want to
more
get next. Yeah.
sweet footage. Yeah, it's pretty dope.
Hell yeah. Well, I met you through, or I'm first meeting you now, but I heard about you through Gibbers and John from Shot Tactics. And the big thing was they had talked about you before. I think when I first did the podcast with Gibbers, he had mentioned, playing with you and John. And then, but the one where I had them both on about the CUPCAKE
Yeah,
video, they were talking about you guys, or talking about you. And I was like, oh, I need to talk to this dude.
yeah,
So, uh, but anyway, yeah, we'll definitely get into that because that was a really cool video.
yeah. And I got it all here set up so I can show it whenever you're ready.
Yeah, absolutely, man. That is cool because they said that you had kind of put that suit together like a long time before and never
Hmm.
really used it or something on the
Yeah,
field.
I just kind of at periodically buying pieces, piecing it together and stuff like that. And it was also like during the summer. I'm not gonna wear all that during the summer, so
Oh no.
I was kind of waiting for it to cool down anyway. So I wasn't like any big rush. And then that January, it was around my birthday was when we were playing, and so Gibbers was like, "Hey, you should do your Juggernaut armor," and I was like, "All right, yeah, this would be a good time to debut it." So
Yeah, it was awesome, man. What a cool concept, I think, or game mode, I guess, that they
yeah,
came up with, and it was cool that you had the suit for it, and then they had John had his 360 camera on his gun. Uh, I think for that video, Gibbers had the drone out,
hmm
and I mean there was all kind of different angles and shots from the drone, and they shared their videos together so that they could make because they each have
yeah,
their own YouTube channels, and so they could like make their own video that was really cool with all those different angles. It was
yeah.
awesome.
And I had a GoPro on my helmet, so you were going to get a Juggernaut first-person point of view. But whoever I went up to was like, "Hey, can you click record?" Must have hit some buttons, and it got some like time lapse bullshit instead of
Oh
video, so like
shit.
it wasn't usable.
Yeah.
Um, but so I'm gonna wear it again sometime, and I'm gonna click my own record button and make
Yeah,
sure. And I'm also gonna have my 360 on my rifle and stuff like that, so we'll make sure we get some good footage from the
for
Juggernaut's point of view
sure.
and stuff.
That so the GoPro thing, we had to figure this out when we first started our channel. Uh, they have a really nice, easy setup. Like when you click the, if you put the settings correctly, I can't remember what it is in there, but it'll auto record as soon as you hit the top button.
Yeah,
It'll be, it'll turn itself on. Like when you hit the record button, just click it once, turns on, starts recording. Click it again. Whenever you're done, it'll stop recording and shut itself off.
yeah.
Really nice features. But
Yeah, I that's
yeah,
one of those things that every time I'm like, yeah, I'll get it set up next time, and then next time I'm like throwing all my shit together before the night
right.
of, and like never do it.
Yeah,
I'm lucky
welcome
I
to
get the batteries
life.
charged. Yeah, so like
No shit.
next time.
Yeah, and you have you guys have you're married, have kids,
Mhm.
or okay.
Yeah, I got married and we got a kid. He's potty training right now, so
Mm.
that's fun.
No shit. Yeah. Only when they're ready, you know?
Yeah.
Because otherwise they're like, no.
Yeah.
They go hide in a corner.
Yeah. He's done a good job. So fingers crossed that he keeps it
Good.
up.
So my wife and I have 5 kids, and out of all of them, I think only one child was like wanted to potty train really early, like on her own, right away. And then I think she was 9 or 10 months. No, not 9 or 10 months. She was a year and 9 months, something like that. Like not even 2.
Yeah.
And so the other one, the boys, we have 3 boys. They were like, I don't need that fucking toilet. I'll piss in my diaper all day. Like they were like
This is working
3.
just fine for me.
Yeah, exactly. They didn't care. You know, so it only when it started getting uncomfortable for them to have crap in their diaper, that's when they were like, okay, I need the toilet.
Yeah.
But yeah. So we were kind of like we didn't really force them, you know, because we were like we could and we could, you know, but it's a lot of work. And we had all these toddlers together. We were like, fuck that, man. Whatever. We'll just keep buying diapers. When they're ready, they're ready.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah. I mean, he's almost 4. He like enjoys going to the potty now, so
Good.
made it really easy.
Mm-hmm. They got all these cool potty chairs for the little kids now that talk and fucking all kind of shit.
Oh, I
You know?
didn't do that.
Yeah, I know, right? Oh yeah. Yeah, we didn't either. We had the just the basic, the little toddler seat, whatever.
A fancy bucket, basically.
Right. And then they'd come out and we'd be like, all right, good job. We, you know, give you a piece of candy or something.
Candy, yeah. Yep.
That still works, man. That's been working
Yeah.
for years.
Yeah, my wife had the idea getting like an old style gumball machine and just putting some M&M minis in there, so whenever he goes, he gets to turn the little knob and get himself a couple pieces of M&M
That's a
minis.
cool idea. Yeah, because bro,
Yeah.
when I was growing up, those candy machines like that, those are fun.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah. They get the candy, but they also get the interaction of like turning the knobs, and
Right.
stuff like
They
that.
do it themselves. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's cool. Hell yeah. So how long you guys been together?
We actually started dating about 10 years ago, like within this time frame.
Yeah.
And then we eight of those been married. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
we're here in North Carolina. I moved here to North Carolina from Tennessee about 10 years ago for a job. I was at the same place that Gibbers worked at.
Oh.
Because we were good friends in college in Tennessee. He moved to Tennessee or North Carolina for this job. I was still in Tennessee doing freelance work, and he was telling
Same
me
field?
about
Like graphic?
Huh? Yeah,
Same-
graphic
okay.
design,
Yeah.
doing some web development and stuff. And the job he had need of like a designer for like a month of contract work. And so I came over, like stayed in their basement for like a month, and did contract work, which worked out great because I knew a lot of the guys in the office because I played Gears of War with them online.
Fuck
You know,
yeah, baby.
It was one of
Gears of
those like
War.
I played Gears of War with Gibbers, and
Yeah.
like his coworkers would hop on, so I got to know a lot of his coworkers. So
Right.
you know, the first day of my contract work, I'm like, "What's up, bitches? It's Bone Desk KOA," and they're like, "Hey, what's up?" And so like it was a great month of working. You know, it was
Yeah.
a small company, so we all had a lot of fun. Some of those people are in our Airsoft group actually, even, and so you know, a lot of those are still my friends to this day.
That's
And
cool.
when the contract was up, they were like, "Hey, do you want to like work here full time?" And I was like, "Yeah, give me a weekend." And so that Friday, drove back to Tennessee, packed up all my stuff, drove back Sunday, and on Monday I took the day off to just kind of get my apartment together, and then started full time that Tuesday, and been here ever since. And then eventually met my wife, and now we got a house and stuff like that. 2 dogs.
You guys met in North Carolina?
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we met when I was just doing the contract work. But then when I found out I was going to be staying here full time, we're like, "Hey, I'm going to be here longer,"
Right.
and now she's stuck with me.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool, man. Yeah, what a
Yeah,
good
so
you
video
know,
games, kids. That's
I'm
that's how you
telling
get
you.
your jobs.
and how you meet friends and
Yeah.
yeah, the shoddy in Gears 1 was insane.
Yeah,
Like, who's got the best connection? Okay, you're hosting.
exactly.
You know, shoddy kills from like 30 feet away. But it was when I moved here, we all moved here 15 years ago. I started, my first job was at GameStop. I ran a GameStop for 3 years. So the second year I was here, we started doing we were looking for employees. We did like a job fair. So this guy comes, all these people come in. There's like 30, 40 people coming in. It was a Saturday. And so they're coming through, and we had tables set up where we could all interview. So we're interviewing. Well, the guy next to me, another manager from a different store who was helping out, he's interviewing this guy, and I hear him say, as they're talking, just bullshitting about gaming, and, he says his gamer tag. And I was like, what the fuck? I play with this guy all the time on Gears of War. His gamer tag was Yella. And I looked at him and I go, Yella, I'm E-Rock. And he goes, what? It was so fucking crazy. Like the randomest shit that we met in that area, that we had been playing for like 2 years together. Yeah. So anyway, and we're still friends today.
Yeah. Gears of War brings people together. That's the gist of this story.
There you go. Exactly. So how did you get to the point where you are in a Juggernaut suit carrying pink and yellow cupcakes for your birthday?
So, I mean, going back to the beginning, way back in the days, I had a buddy of mine who was still in high school at the time, was talking about Airsoft and everything, and I'd never heard of it. I'd only heard of paintball. And as he was describing it, I was like exactly what I want in my life.
Yeah.
And because I grew up shooting real steel. My dad's a Marine sniper, so I've been shooting guns since.
Hoorah! I was in the Marines for 4 years. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I grew up shooting. I used to shoot like air rifles for competition.
Oh, nice.
And I did pretty good. Like I had several colleges offering me scholarships because there's college shooting teams, and like I had 3 different ones offering me full ride scholarships. But then the one college I went to for at the time I was majoring in computer science. It was the one school that didn't have a shooting team.
Gotcha.
So I kind of faded out of that just because like I can't, they don't have a shooting teams, but I need the courses. But then my buddy mentioned this, and I was like, oh my gosh, this sounds amazing. So I went to a event. It wasn't a Milsim event, I don't think, because I had no idea what was going on. I bought a gun. I bought some fatigues and stuff from a army surplus and stuff, and I went overwhelmed. I had no idea where I was, what I was doing, but I was like, this is awesome. And then after that, he got a girlfriend, and I never got to play again.
Oh shit!
Because then I just like didn't get to hang out with him that much.
Right.
Women. And so I just kind of had this stuff, and years went by. And I ended up moving to North Carolina, and I still have like I want to do that airsoft stuff. Like it was so much fun, and like more and more videos were coming out on YouTube for it, where I could actually see other people play. I was like, yes, like I want to be doing this.
Yeah.
And kind of like everything else I do, if I want friends to do it, I just have to start doing it and trick all my friends into doing it too. And so that's what I did.
Yeah.
I like got everyone together. I was like, hey, let's go do this. And like I organized it. Everyone just paid me the money, and I like did all managing all the money and got us all in and everything. And we did it. I had coworkers and some of my like core group of friends, and a good chunk of people loved it. And I was like, yes, bunch of suckers. You don't even know what the fuck you into.
Now these were like one day events kind of thing.
It was it was just we just went. It wasn't even an event. It was just you just go and play some
show
games.
Up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's how it started. And then so it just became every month I would send out like a email invite of like, hey, what time is everyone available? Which Saturday? And then everyone, whichever Saturday had the most, I'd schedule it in. I'd call the place and say, hey, we got a group coming. And I kind of worked a little deal with the field so we could get a little discount because we go every month.
Oh, nice.
And we do like private hours. So we have our own ref come. And so it's just our group of friends. We don't have to worry about like other people we don't know that could cause issues or anything like that.
Right.
Plus, we're also not like hardcore. We laugh whenever we get shot and killed and stuff like that. So we like to have that kind of fun. So
yeah.
So I've been just doing that, organizing that every month for at this point several years now. And we kind of have a core group of guys that we go every year. And when it first started, I was the only one with my own gun and fatigues. Now everyone's got better shit than I got.
Oh, all the
And
shit, bro.
so yeah, and yeah, so we've been playing some of that. So then I was like, I've seen a couple of YouTube videos of Juggernauts. There's not that many,
Nope.
but it was like, that's cool. And I like
Yeah.
building things. I'm not really a big cosplayer, but if there's something I like I'll do it. I'll figure out a way to make it. That
I can see
Stormtrooper,
your stormtrooper right there.
yeah, I spent over a year making that. 'Cause
You
then
made all that whole thing.
yeah, it's kind of like an airplane kit or something. Someone does all the vacuum forming for all the pieces, and then I get
Okay.
it, and then I have to like size it to me because I'm not that tall, and
Yeah.
but I'm kind of broad and maybe a little heavier than I should be. But so I like size it to me and cut it and do all the gluing and punch all the rivets and all that stuff. And
Oh,
like it's
shit.
got to be like screen accurate because I'm part of this group called the 501st Legion, and
What is that?
it's a worldwide cosplay group of Star Wars, just the bad guys.
Oh,
And the idea
shit.
is it's the Empire is actually not bad guys. The Empire is the good guys, and we're
Right.
doing good. We do a lot of charity events. So if you're ever at any charity event, you see like legit looking stormtroopers or Darth Vader,
Yeah.
like they just walked off screen. That's 501st Legion.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
and you have to be accepted into the group. So like they looked at detailed photos when I made that, to see if there was anything that wasn't screen accurate. And then I'd have to fix it before I get accepted into the group.
Holy shit. So
So
that's that, like when you build that, if you want to be a part of that group, it's got to be like if you want to be in the movie, kind of that quality.
yeah. In fact,
Wow.
in one of the episodes of The Mandalorian, they needed a bunch of stormtroopers at the end of the first season. Those were all 501st members because they didn't have enough armor made. So like Lucasfilm contacted the 501st and like asked, kind of in secret, like, hey,
Yeah.
there's a thing, do y'all want to go to? Not really telling them what it was.
Right.
And whoever was lucky enough to get that was like, yeah, I'll go. And then they show up and realize they're going to be on an episode of The Mandalorian.
Holy shit.
And,
Yeah, they can't announce that publicly.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
get fucking a million people there.
yeah. So they found out when they were there, and they the crew working on the show said it was great working with them because everyone already knew how to operate inside of the armor.
Right.
Everyone knew the walk and stuff like that because we like the last thing I did was one of the Christmas parades here in Raleigh. I was marching in that and stuff like that. And
That is
so
cool, man.
so I don't do a lot of cosplay, but like that, I'm a huge Star Wars nerd. So I'm like, no, I'm going to do that. And that was kind of one of my last big projects before we had a kid.
Well, let me ask you this. Are you, as far as that group goes, they're just like the bad guy, the bad guys, as far as the Star Wars story goes. So what are your thoughts on that? It's because I want to add,
Playful.
okay, because all of these years growing up, watching all the Star Wars, originally, I grew up in the 70s, and then in the last few years, I watched every single Star Wars. My kids have them, whatever. I watch all of the Star Wars in the order they're supposed to be, I guess, And by the end of it, I did not like the Jedis. I'm not kidding. I was like,
zealots.
yeah, they were religious zealots. I was like, bro, and I grew up in a
And
real
mind
strict
control
religious
and
home,
everything.
and I was like, dude, fuck these guys. Like, the Emperor, I understand, doing all the crazy shit, but I was like, dude, I would definitely be on the other side.
Yeah, so I mean that's kind of what the group is. It's kind of a tongue-in-cheek, like
Mm-hmm.
you're not so bad. Like look at all the charity work we
Right.
do and stuff like that. And it's also just kids like stormtroopers more than like if you just saw a dude in a bunch of robes, they may
Right.
recognize him as Jedi, but you see a bunch of stormtroopers marching down the street, like kids, like in the parade, kids run into the streets to like hug us and stuff.
Sure.
And we have to have people like in our group kind of like stand by to help make sure kids don't get run over because you can't see anything in those helmets.
I'm sure.
Everything
Yeah,
from
those
here
eye holes are
down,
very
everything
small.
from here down is a blind spot, and then anything through here is usually fogged up. So
Oh, right.
I had to install little tiny squirrel fans in the cheeks there to
Yeah.
help kind of blow air to keep it from fogging up and stuff.
I was gonna say those kind of outfits like that. They're probably the ones that invented X-Fog for the
Yeah.
airsoft players.
Yes, yeah, pretty much.
You know.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, that's the stormtrooper outfit is, in my opinion, it's kind of like the first uh, Halo Master Chief, whatever,
Yeah,
Spartan
the Spartan
outfit.
armor type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or concept.
yeah. So anyway, sidetrack. So yeah, so I made that, and then so seeing people play Juggernaut, like that looks really cool. Like no one around in our field does that or anything, at least none that I've seen. So I'm like, I think I'm just going to do it. Fuck it. And then so I just kind of did some research, see what other people are using, and then I kind of made up my own for some of the other things. For example, the thing that I did that I haven't seen anyone else do was this system to see what team you're actually on.
Yeah,
He
see, they were talking
printed,
about this, but they didn't
yeah,
have it in the video
yeah, and because that was
because you
with
didn't
that
have it
cupcake.
running in the yeah.
Yeah, I never in that game mode I never changed teams. And so the idea is, people usually have a bell or a plate here, and if it dings, you just freeze. Someone comes, tags you, tells you what team you're on, and then you shoot for that team.
Gotcha.
From there, there's no indication what team you're on. You just, is he pointing that way or is he pointing back at us? And you just see which way he's shooting.
Right.
So I came up with this idea where I 3D printed these little boxes here, and inside is just basically like an LED strand of fairy lights. And I did one red and one blue, and the battery pack's in here, and I soldered on. I just bought off eBay some little push buttons,
Yeah.
and then just solder that into the battery pack, so that way
Oh,
instead of
that's
the little
cool.
switch on the battery pack, I can do a push button, so people can come up here and turn on blue or red. I don't have blue. I don't have batteries in the blue one,
Gotcha.
um, but same thing. And then I just run the blue and red LED strands through this like clear tube, and it also goes around the back, so people behind me can see what team I'm on.
Oh,
And then so
that's
that
cool.
way, rather than just tagging me and telling me, they would hit the bell, I freeze, and then they come and turn on the red or the blue depending on what team they're on. And if both lights are on, then I kill anyone I see. And if both lights are off, then I'm like deactivated, and I just kind of stand there waiting until someone activates me.
Oh, that's fucking cool, bro.
Yeah.
I love that.
And then this is just like a normal service bell that I 3D
Right.
printed a little block to help hold that.
Little
Um,
holder, yeah.
yeah, yeah. And then, yeah, and these are just kind of Velcroed on, so that way if something comes ripping at me, it won't take me with it. It'll just come off and I can put it back
Yeah,
on.
true.
But yeah, so this is just like
What a good
football
idea.
shoulder pads,
Oh
something for
shit.
protection and it's just some bulk. So, I mean, I got that at like a used sports store.
Yeah.
This is just like yoga mats that I used a
Yep.
heat gun and just where I could carve it. And then because I've seen videos where DBs were chewing up the yoga mats. So I just took a piece of black fabric and spray glued it on there, so that way the fabric is like a layer that
Oh
helps
yeah.
distribute the weight, the
Right.
impact, and that worked great because there's like no chips or dings in it or anything.
Right.
Um, and then so I just kind of have this front plate, which is anyone that's wanting to do Juggernaut needs this, because when your face starts getting fucked, like you just need this to turtle behind, because
Uh-huh.
I kept getting shot in the face so much.
Oh
And so
Jesus.
at some point, I just like couldn't do it, so I just turtled in.
Oh.
Like, cause I the other mistake I've learned from this is to use like one of the dye masks that's a full face,
Yeah. Yeah.
because I was using like a mask and goggles combo, but just statistics of that many BBs coming at you, they're gonna find
Mm-hmm.
that crack right through there. So I had these welts across my face where I just got shot in the face. So next
New
time,
definition for raccoon eyes.
exactly, yeah. And I look like a raccoon that got shit beat out of him.
Mm.
And so definitely do full face mask. And then this just kind of helps because even if it's hitting the mask, you still got like BBs coming at your face. You just naturally
Yeah.
kind of want to like get the hell out of there.
Sure.
And then kind of the same concept for the back, just to kind of protect the back of my head and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And it also just looks cool.
So you took the football shoulder pads and turned them sideways? Oh no, no, that's the
It's
chest
normal.
part.
So
Yeah.
chest,
And the
at the
shoulder
back, and
pads
the
come out the
shoulders.
side.
Yeah, and I kind of just got some of those like nylon straps and some
Right.
just to add some like cool bulk to it, but it also
Dude, it
helps
looks
hold it on
cool.
there, so I can
Yeah.
take it on and off. But otherwise, that's just normal football
Yeah, I
shoulder
love it.
pads. And then from
That's
there,
awesome.
let's see what else we got
So
here.
where did you get shot the most in this cupcake game? Because where were your exposed areas?
So there was little joints here and there, which I expected, and that wasn't too bad. So like, let's see, yeah, like so these are like cheap Chinese motorcycle shin guards that you can get off eBay. It's super cheap. But I used them as like elbow and forearm guards like that because I think I lost your audio. I can't hear you.
How about that?
Oh, there
There
we
we
go.
go. Okay.
Okay, yeah. So, and it works perfect for like forearm and elbow
Oh,
guards
that's
like that.
cool.
So I use the at for that, and then I bought several. Here they are. You can also buy off eBay these really cheap motorcycle jackets, which I don't
Yep.
know why anyone would wear some of these because they like, the BBs hurt. Go along like trying to drag
Yeah.
across like concrete and stuff. So I bought
Right.
this cheap motorcycle armor. And so like this is the chest piece, but I like lowered it underneath that to be like an ab piece and stuff.
Right.
I just kind of like hodgepodge some of this stuff together to kind of go around my lower torso and stuff. So I had that, and then the arms from that I cut off, and then I would use that as like the other side of my forearms and like this bicep area and stuff like that.
Right.
Um, and then so anywhere in between some of these things, I would occasionally get hit. But I also wore like a long sleeve fatigue underneath it, so like you're gonna get hit. So like whatever,
Yeah.
don't be a little bitch about it. And
I mean, you got to have
but
somewhere else to show
yeah,
off.
yeah. I mean, that's the name of the game. But for the most part, this stuff did pretty well protecting me against BBs. But one of the parts that did not go well for me was I didn't have one of the ab plates secured well enough, and it came like untucked. And so
Mm.
when people were shooting me, it was just BBs all over my this side of my abs. I
Oh.
had so many bruises right here because they just kept, and that's why in
Oh.
the videos you may see me kind of like holding
Yeah.
cupcakes weird like that.
I
I'm
saw
trying to
that.
like use my forearm guards to like protect my abs. So it was just getting riddled with BBs,
Oh, Jesus.
and that was probably the worst part was that, and then like getting shot in the face, like getting
Yeah.
shot in the face, kind of a new sensation for me.
Yeah.
um, maybe once in a while getting shot in the face, but then like repeatedly getting shot in the face,
For real.
especially when it's right here, so close to your eye and stuff. That
Yeah.
kind of scared me at first, but
You ever think about those Ronin helmets or whatever? They're
I
you know
thought
the
they look cool, but I don't I have no idea like how safe they are or if they're any
yeah.
good or I've never known anyone's tried one, so I just
Yeah,
never.
we tested one out. I think we did I think we did a review on one. My
Yeah.
son bought one. It didn't fit his fat head too well, but
Mhm.
it was uh it was really good.
Yeah.
It held up with the BBs and stuff, but yeah. I mean, not it wasn't, it was just a plastic, it wasn't the real steel
Yeah,
kind
yeah.
of, you know, where it can protect you from whatever,
Yeah.
guns and
Live rounds.
shrapnel and shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, it was pretty good. It just he actually set that up originally with his X Fog, but it wouldn't sit down far enough on his head
Mhm.
to kind of be comfortable. So I think he wore it once, but yeah, those aren't too bad. But man, it's got to get hot in there.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Luckily for us, or for me, it was a really cool day, so everyone else was kind of chill, and I was like, I don't know what y'all talking about. This is nice out here.
Right?
Yeah. And then these I got from my shins. These are like catchers, like baseball
Oh yeah,
catchers,
nice.
shin guards. So they're a little bit thicker, just because so bulky. At this point, it's just kind of for looks as well as
Right.
protection, because I'm all bulky up top, and I don't want to have these little chicken legs. So I kind of got some bulkier stuff to go for the
Yeah.
legs, so it doesn't look like I skipped leg day.
Yeah. Right.
Um, and then from there, I just kind of some other pieces of the motorcycle armor I would use for around my thighs, and some of these are like old knee pads that I just like velcroed around, and that would kind of go around my thighs and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
Because I also had some shoulder eye holsters that I used that I didn't really use, but they were there because it added to the look, and because it's tactical, and
Right.
these just kind of went around it, and it was all just to protect my thighs so they don't get too jacked up. Um, yeah, and that's pretty much it. I just tried covering as much of my body. I had like a dump pouch to help protect my butt. Or
Mm,
two guys
that's
that did
smart.
shoot me in the ass, which I'm like, you don't. I have no bell back there. Why are you shooting me from back there? But they did, and I knew they would.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, when I did the podcast with Gibbers and John, they were talking about. John was like, I I didn't realize some of his that he was getting shot. Like, some of his armor wasn't covering him. I was running up close to him, doing full auto and joking
I know.
around, and I said, "Oh Jesus!"
Yeah, I mean it is what it is. It's part of the game.
Right.
It was funny. I mean, it's still funny now, after the fact.
Oh yeah, I've watched that video a few times, man, because it was. It's the first time I've ever seen it where somebody's carrying cupcakes with
Yeah, that may be a
back and
YouTube
forth.
first.
It was cool, man. So how many times did you have to run back and forth?
A lot. Yeah. I think they underestimated how far I'd be able to get when I have an entire team of people shooting at me.
Right.
Yeah, because everyone focus fires once they see me. And I didn't have a gun, because normally I have my M4, and then I was rocking like a double drum mag.
Oh, nice.
It's got battery on one side, and then just a shit ton of BBs on the other side. And so, no one wanted to stay focused on me for too long, or, I'd turn to them, and then
Right.
it would be no more. But with that, I didn't have any guns, so I was purely relying on my team, and I felt it.
Oh my
But that wasn't
gosh.
even the worst one. We played a game after that where one of the maps we have is kind of like a small town. We did like a zombie one where there's only one or two start off as an attacker, and everyone's defending the city. And whenever we shoot one of them, they then join our team as an attacker.
Oh shit.
And then basically they just have to defend the town for X amount of time
Right.
and not lose everybody. If we get everybody on our team, then we win within that time limit. So, as the time goes down, we're getting more and more, and our team's getting stronger and stronger, and they're getting weaker and weaker, and they just gotta hold down the fort. So we did that game mode where we started where I was the only attacker, attacking the entire town of everyone else. And those first couple of seconds walking onto the field when they said go, we had like 20-some people. Everyone's just shooting at me as soon as I get in there.
Oh my god.
And I'm like, you get hit once and you're like, out. But then just imagine that 100 more times per second. And I'm just like covering my face and ducking in, and just like, if I can find someone, I start just shooting in that area. And eventually it didn't take that long, but like I did get finally a couple people out, and they came and then joined my side and then started attacking with me. And then that definitely helped turn the tide. And for those first few seconds, just so many BBs hitting me all over, and I could hear them hitting the armor, but then I could also feel them hitting all the non-armor parts.
Right. Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah. It was fun, though. It was fun.
I think Gibbers just posted a video where I thought that's the one you were talking about, but it's I think it's something different, where they were doing like a tag.
Yeah, that's different.
What is it? Yeah, tag in or something.
Yeah. And that's so that map is what we call hotel. It's a smaller map, and so we just had too many people to all play at once. It just you'd all be on top of each other. We basically just formed a queue of like, your team starts over here, your team starts over here. You only send 5 people in at a time, and then whenever one of those get out, they come back, tag in the next person. So there's only ever 5 people per team at a time in there, and then you have like 3 respawns or whatever. You go in there,
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, and that's the first video he had with me contributing video, so like you could see the point of view shifting back from his camera to my camera and stuff. And
oh, did you have the shotgun? Were you running the
shotgun? I did, yeah, that was me.
Oh, that was you.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay. Yeah.
And so
nice.
we're doing that more and more, especially as I have more footage and stuff. And so he'll put our logos in the bottom corner so you can see what point of view you're viewing from and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It was kind of cool because then it kind of had a movie type narrative kind of to it, because it'd be from my point of view talking to him and seeing what I'm seeing, and then he's coming up, switches to him coming up behind me, and he can see me looking around that corner with the shotgun and stuff, and pretty dope.
Yeah, because when you had the shotgun, you came up around the you were shooting there are buildings here, you were shooting around this side, and he put a voice over there saying you shot a guy that was already out or something, you shot him twice, whatever. I was like,
I didn't realize I actually hit him the first time, and so when I peeked back around, I saw him again, and how I shot him twice in a row without missing, like I took 2 shots and hit twice. I'm more proud of that. I don't care if I hit him. He was
right.
I did it. 2 out of 2. Like, come on, man.
I mean, it was a shotgun, and he was pretty far away.
He was far away, yeah. That's why I couldn't believe
I shot him. It's not like it's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Should have had his hand up.
Right? Yeah, because I was like, how did he know? You know, because when he said that in the video, I was like, I didn't know he was out
Yeah, I
when
didn't
you
either.
showed it.
I made him out.
Yeah, that's cool, man. It's really cool that you guys are all there together. You know, play together. You have your own channel. Well, you know, you're probably going to start your own channel, I'm guessing, if you're
Nah,
filming.
I've done enough video work in my day where I'm like, I don't have time for this anymore.
You just
So,
film and give it to Gibbs
yeah.
or
I made
John.
a couple of airsoft videos like when we first started to try
Yeah,
and like encourage the others to do it. And like, look how much fun we're having. Come join
yeah,
us. But now that I got a group, I'm like, all right, I got you suckers in already. Like, you already invested too much money at this point to turn back. But now
yeah.
that Gibby is putting in more effort and stuff to it, I'm like,
Right.
let him do it. I'm going to help contribute,
Oh,
and same
good.
thing with John too. You know, I'll give him my footage so he can use too.
I think it's cool, man. You know, that gameplay with the cupcake, we had all these different angles from different people.
Yeah,
You know, it turned out really nice.
yeah,
Yeah.
he did a good job.
Hell yeah. That's cool. It's a lot of work to edit
Yep.
those.
Yep. And you've mentioned it in a previous one where when you get footage from someone else, you just have to sit there and watch it all because
You don't know
you don't know
where it's
what's
at.
missing. And
Mm.
especially, I'm gonna have a GoPro, I'm gonna have a 360 and a scope cam. I'm just gonna be like, bump, here you
Yeah.
go.
Here's you know, you played for 3 hours. Here's 9 hours.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Good luck.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah.
Uh,
And you know, it's all the tips, all the tricks. Like I am going to like hit play on all three devices and like snap my fingers so he can like visually sync all the videos and stuff like that, and that'll make it easier for him to timeline wise cut it and stuff because everything will be in sync, and so that's kind of
yeah,
stuff
that's
what
nice
I
of you.
like.
Yeah. Because that helps.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah. This last weekend we went to a milsim, and not this a couple days ago, but
Yeah.
last week, and I was filming. I had this little like hand thing, you know, hand holder that held my phone and then held a GoPro on the other side, so I could kind of like turn both on and then film myself talking and whatever while I'm kind of walking around. And I'm going, after like the 10th time I did this,
Hmm.
started this one, I'm going, shit, I didn't do any kind of cue in front of the GoPro camera to say which, where it goes with my phone video.
Mm.
The two separate. I was like, shit, I'm gonna have to do like I'm like, here, hold on, a one, a two, which cut is this? I don't know.
Bring your own like clackboard next time.
Right. Scene 3, okay. Yeah, I haven't even gone through the GoPro part yet. Yeah, I
Man.
just I need to, but it was good.
Yeah.
You have a bunch of guitars back there. I
Yeah.
grew up playing guitar. I stopped when I was about 13 or 14, but I've always loved playing. So, what got you into that?
My grandpa played guitar, and my dad played guitar before he had his
Yeah.
stroke. Um, and my grandpa's more kind of country folky type stuff, and a little
You play
more.
banjo?
I don't, but
Did your grandfather?
no, he didn't. He was just
Oh,
guitar.
okay. Yeah.
I think we may have had an uncle maybe that played it. I think they were all guitar and bass. I think.
Gotcha.
Um, but and so like I played some acoustic stuff,
Hmm.
kind of like play with him and stuff, and it wasn't until I was kind of a late bloomer to music. I just never cared for anything I heard until in high school. I was playing with my dad's old vinyl uh, album or vinyl player, and I put on, and like I can remember when I fell in love with music because I put
Sure.
on AC/DC's Back in Black,
Oh,
and the intro
yes.
to Hell's Bells guitar. I heard that
Yes.
like electric guitar for the first time. I'm like, what is this? And then like I
Right?
sat and listened to the entire album, and he was like, oh, you like this? And so he like brought out a bunch of his other vinyl like Aerosmith and stuff. And then I was a rocker ever since.
Oh, that's
Um,
awesome.
so yeah, so ever since then I do classic rock, and then eventually getting into like metal and stuff, and
Okay.
now I like heavy stuff too. So yeah, I
Okay.
definitely listen to Slipknot or whatever when I go to work. Which I guess
Ah,
Slipknot at this point is like classic metal. They're old enough,
they're older
been
too.
around for a
Yep.
while. Yeah. This
What
which is
about
crazy to
Trivium?
think about.
You heard of Trivium?
Yeah.
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 I went to their me and my son, actually one of the guys that's on our channel, Coltrane. Me and him went to the Trivium concert up in North Carolina. Where was this? It was a really small venue, and I can't remember the name of it. But anyway, that was like 2 years ago,
Yeah.
maybe three. We went up there. It was great.
Yeah.
I think it was I can't remember who opened for them. It was the one with the heavy metal band. It's got the lead singer is a hot chick, and she does the oh,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the last big concert I saw was Metallica a couple of years ago.
Oh, okay.
I love Metallica. Metallica's my all-time favorite.
Me too. Yeah.
Um,
Their tickets are expensive as shit, bro.
yeah. He put on a hell of a show, though.
Yeah.
And then there's a couple of little, uh, little fun bands that like I go to that whenever they come here. There's one band that I love and I always tell everyone about, the Oakley Dokleys. It's
Never
a
heard of them.
heavy metal Ned Flanders themed metal band.
Oh
like Ned
God, I gotta
Flanders
look
from The
these guys up.
Simpsons.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they all wear the cardigan and they all have the mustache.
What?
And it's all like type metal.
Oh
All
my
the
God.
lyrics are Ned Flanders quotes from The Simpsons.
Get out.
So he's singing about like white wine spritzers and purple drapes and stuff like that. And I can't, it's a
Oh.
Geo. But they're doing like, it's a Geo and stuff
Oh my
like that. They're
God,
just
that
rushing
is-
on stage.
I gotta
And then
check
whenever
this
they
out.
finish a song, they're like, thanks, neighborinos. And it's hilarious. So,
That is
like,
crazy.
stuff like that I like going to. I saw them, and I saw this with Gibbers and a bunch of our other friends. I have my core group of friends I do everything with, and I don't
Yeah.
bother making any other new friends. It's too much work.
Right.
The other band we saw was Mac Sabbath, which is a Black Sabbath cover band
Okay.
aimed with McDonald's. And
Oh
so
shit.
it's like Grimace is up there, like a heavy metal Grimace is
Get
playing
outta here.
bass, and like the Hamburglers playing a guitar, and Ronald McDonald is like a demonic Ronald McDonald's a singer, and they play all Black Sabbath songs, but they change all the lyrics to like fast food theme stuff.
This is crazy, dude. I can't believe I haven't heard of these guys
Yeah.
or seen something pop
Yeah.
up
They're great
because I'm always checking out like metal stuff.
Yeah, they're just really fun because
That is cool.
they're just guys having fun, and they got big enough to where they can tour around the country
Right.
and stuff, and that's pretty fun stuff.
That's cool, man.
I like doing a lot of that. I think one of my buddies said Testament is coming,
Mm.
so I'm gonna go check them out. I like some of their songs. Yeah,
We're having
I
we
definitely
have a concert here in May, the first Tuesday of May. Megadeth and Lamb of God, I think, is opening for him. I can't remember.
nice.
So my son and I, who went to Trivium with me, he was going to go with me. So I got free tickets from the guy I work with. So he got them from somebody he knows, whatever. So, and then like 2 weeks ago, I'm talking about it. My wife goes, well, why are you taking Colton? I want to go. And I'm like, what? Like she likes 80s rock, but because we met in high school, we grew up, and we've been together for a long time. But I'm like, you don't like metal? Like you're not even gonna like she's never on her own listened to Megadeth. You know? Now she listened, what I listened to when we were first married, because I was still in the military then. So I listened to Metallica, the old Megadeth, the AC/DC, all that kind of stuff. But so she's heard the song, she's familiar, but she would never listen to it on her own. I'm like, you want to go? What? Okay, well, so I call Colton. I'm like, hey, mom wants to go to this concert. He's like, what? I said, yeah, I don't know. So I think our kids are grown. So my youngest one's 20. So in the last like year and a half, a couple of them have left, and so they're she's like, I'm kind of bored. Like, what do I do? Like, I don't have kids to take care of. So when I was talking about it, I think that's kind of where, she's like, okay, I'll go to this metal concert. I'm like,
Expanding
all
your
right,
horizons.
cool.
Like, hell
Yeah. I mean, she's fun to hang out with. Like, so I was like, all right, let's go.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I love it. My wife is definitely not into the aggressive music that I am into.
yeah.
I was telling because I a little while back went and saw Gwar. If you know about Gwar.
I mean, I've heard of Gore, yeah,
Yeah, they've been around
but
for
I
a
haven't
long
seen
time.
him. Yeah.
It's awesome. It's probably one of the most fun shows just because of the
Really?
spectacle of what they do. Yeah, if you don't go to Gore wearing any kind of clothes that you don't want to get stained because it's like a Gallagher show. Like I was far back away and I still had fake blood all over me.
Holy
And
shit.
yeah, no, like one of their whole, they wear all these elaborate like space Viking costumes and
Right?
all these cool shit. And they had this little play where they had these like futuristic soldiers trying to stop Gore from coming over and taking over Earth or some shit. And
Nice.
Gore had them down on their knees and had their giant fake axes and cut their heads off. And their
Oh
heads roll
shit.
off, and they just started like a fire hose of blood all over the crowd coming
Oh
from their necks
Jesus.
as they were
Right.
dancing around, just shooting everyone with blood. And then they had like alien jizz and stuff and all kinds of crazy stuff. And I didn't
Oh.
know it, but a lot of people when they go see Gore, they wear just a plain white T-shirt because they come out
Uh,
like baptized by like Gore blood and stuff because
right.
they're just covered in red
And then
blood
they
and
save
stuff.
it.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
it was. At one point, they brought this giant machine that had all these grinding gears and teeth, and they were pulling people out of the crowd and shoving them into the machine. It had
Oh
just this
Jesus.
giant tube just spraying blood over everybody.
Oh my
And
God.
I was like, God, I wish Katie could come here and be part of this. She'd be terrified.
Right?
But maybe someday. It sounds like maybe someday she'll
Yeah?
come around. She's like, hey, yeah, if Gore's still around in 10, 20 years, maybe I do want to go see it.
Yeah, for real.
Super fun show, though.
That is crazy. Yeah, the so I went to see Metallica. I was still in the military. Me and a buddy went to see him in San Diego at the Starlight Bowl, 1991. So when they were still good.
Those are good years.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they're still good, but
Yeah.
that was
Those
before
prime Hetfield voice.
it was. Yeah, and they, yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were
That's not the one that's on DVD, is it? They have a
it might be.
San Diego show
It
from
might
like
be
91, I
because
think.
yeah,
That's like one of their DVDs.
because after that, well, we were a little too fucked up. So I remember the first part of the show, not the last part. And so one of our buddies was saying, there's no internet back then. There's no like social media, like you just, hear word of mouth.
Yeah.
And I swear I remember my buddy saying something like, "Oh, I think they're going to film this or something." I was like, "Well, okay." Because when I was 17, I went to see U2 at the Coliseum in Richfield, Ohio, where I grew up around. And I can't remember who opened for him, but this was the concert they did was right after Bono had fallen off one of the scaffolds and broke his arm, so he had his arm in a cast. And somebody was when we were there at that concert, somebody said that they were filming for some kind of VHS or some shit back then, because this was like '87.
Yeah. I had the
you know,
VHS tape
yeah.
of the Metallica one.
Mm.
So it was November 19. It was released on November 1993 in the San Diego Sports Arena.
Okay.
Don't know what
Yeah,
year.
that was probably
It
the
was close to around that time.
yeah, that was at the probably the baseball stadium or football stadium. We were at the Starlight Bowl. Was like a honestly, I don't know what it was. It was kind of like an outdoor
Okay.
one of
Okay. Yeah.
those
This
like
is an indoor arena.
amphitheaters.
Okay. All right. Never
Yeah,
mind. You're not on DVD. Sorry.
yeah. Damn it. Yeah, that was a great time. Yeah, and then this Trivium was probably I think that was the next. Was that the next concert I went to? Because once we, my wife and I got married, we started having kids, and it was like a whirlwind. You know, well,
Yeah.
you have a toddler. Imagine four toddlers at one and one baby. So yeah, we had 5 and 7 years. So I worked nonstop overtime to keep buying diapers and wipes,
Yeah.
and so it was pretty crazy. So there's a lot of those years I didn't do shit, man. My friends would always be like, "Hey, you want to go out?" Nope.
Yeah. Yeah.
going, I'm hanging out with, I'm helping with the baby, or
Yeah.
I'm, teaching my toddler something or whatever. Like that is, it's full time.
Oh, man.
And I always wanted to be involved with our kids, especially those forming years from like 0 to like 10.
Yeah. You got it.
Uh, I wanted to be the one teaching them life skills or
Hmm.
manners or respect or, all that kind of shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely, because my dad was also handicapped when I was born and grew up. So like I
Oh,
would help him do stuff around the house and learn a lot of
yeah.
stuff like that. And I want to make sure my son is hands on with a lot of things. He grows up out like I grew up outdoorsy, which is funny, moving to North Carolina and working with a bunch of people in Raleigh with a bunch of tech guys that I will talk about going camping, and they're thinking about like glamping and like a spot with electricity and everything. I'm like, nah, I'm hiking out several miles and like won't come back for a couple of days.
Oh,
And they're
jeez.
like, Where do you use a bathroom?" Like, you dig a hole and you shit in a hole. Like, what are y'all talking about?
Oh my God, that's funny.
And so like I want to make sure he grows up, isn't a little bitch, and
Right.
and he's a pretty tough kid. Like he plays in the dirt all the time, and I just let
Yeah.
him waller in it. I want
Good.
to. I'm one of those schools that ordered the new Bronco like over a year ago
Yeah.
and still haven't gotten it.
Oh
Um,
shit.
but it's just because they're so far behind on manufacturing, and they got like a shit ton of orders that they didn't
Right.
anticipate, and then
Oh,
like
it's
the
a
shortage
dude.
supply and stuff. So there
That
was a lot
is.
of
People are
factors
excited
there.
about that one.
Yeah. Well, so I grew up riding in my dad's Bronco 2 that he got like a month after I was born. So
Nice.
I was used to riding in that Bronco. That was our fishing truck and everything whenever we go hunting or go to the shooting range.
Yeah.
Um, and we had that forever. And then so when they announced this new Bronco, we just happened to be in a position where we were looking for a new family car and stuff. And we thought it'd be cool because I grew up with that Bronco. I learned to drive in that Bronco. I was like, it'd be cool. Like,
Oh,
we
that's
got
cool.
they got the new Bronco, so let's get that, and that can be like
Yeah.
something Baxter grows up in, and hopefully that can be the car he learns to drive in, and that's the vehicle we take him fishing and hunting and all the. I want to get some kayaks, and so we can take him out. As soon as we
Yeah.
can get him to learn to swim, get out there and get him doing outdoors stuff, and getting out there and having fun, not just on his tablet all the time or anything like that.
Right. Yeah. You have a mix. I mean, I'm all for. Obviously, we're gamers.
Yeah,
We like video games. We like movies. We like. It's okay to have all that kind
yeah,
of. All that kind of stuff. I always wanted my kid. Same kind of thing. We always wanted our kids to have a very broad experience because growing up, like you're more apt to know what you don't like than what you like, and you got to try a bunch of different things to know. Hey, let's go to the park. Hey, let's play baseball. Hey, let's play football. Let's kickball.
yeah,
Uh, go hiking. Go camping. Let's make a tent
Poop in
in
the
the
woods.
backyard.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
All these different things. Yeah, just so
yeah. I mean, life's short, so have adventures. That's kind of
right.
how I live my life. Like, go do something you've never done. Buying that Bronco. Well, putting an order in for the Bronco. I'm still waiting on it. Um, One of the cool things was that Ford, for anyone that purchases a Bronco, they
Yeah.
get to do what's called a Bronco off rodeo, and they have like 4 different locations around the country. Where as long as you can get to it,
Yeah.
you get a free like crash course, full day crash course on how to do off-roading and stuff. How to like, go through streams, how to go across big
What?
rocks and mudding and stuff like that. So I was like, hell yeah, I want to do that.
That is
Um,
cool.
and it was free for me because I ordered the Bronco. I had to pay for the hotel and stuff. So
Gotcha.
and I could bring a guest. So of course I brought Gibbers, and I was like, hey, you want to do this with me? And he was like, say no more, I'm in. And so he and I figured out a time, and we decided to go to the one in Moab in Utah because that's terrain we'll never see over here on the East
Dude,
Coast.
for real.
Like hell yeah, let's go for like off roading in Moab. So we flew out to Utah. We got to stay at this really cool like ranchy type hotel that had a beautiful view of like all the cliffs out in Utah and stuff like that. It was gorgeous. And then we woke up early that next morning. We met up with the other people, the Bronco owners, and our tour guides and stuff, and we all hopped into a bunch of Broncos They took us out in the desert, and we did a bunch of
Holy
like off-roading
shit.
over all these pretty like rocky terrain where like one, the
Yeah.
tires way up in the air.
Oh
And they
my
taught us how
God.
to use all the different like vehicle modes and stuff that the Bronco has.
Right.
You can do it's got like automatic sway bar disconnect, and you just watched one tire drop down where you can then like re-maneuver through terrain and stuff.
Holy
Then
shit.
you just hit another button and it turns off and it like realigns the wheels and everything.
Oh my God. That's
Um,
crazy.
yeah, and so we got to like test out and try all these new features in the new Bronco and stuff that's really designed for off-roading and stuff like that.
Right.
So I'm looking forward to the day I finally get this Bronco. Get a trailer or something, some kayaks and stuff like that, and take Baxter and we go out in the mountains and have some fun and stuff.
What a cool idea, though, that they did to
Yeah,
promote
it
that.
was really cool. Because it was not only promoting, the idea of getting out and everything, but it was also how to do it like correctly,
Right.
how to do it safely, and how to like respect the trails and not just go around and tear everything up like an asshole.
Yeah, dude.
And how to like
Yeah, because,
recover because you're going to get stuck. So like, how do you get out?
right.
So they teach you like a bunch of recovery techniques and stuff.
Oh
Pretty
my
cool.
God, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know, especially the newer stuff. They don't know how what button to use to turn the four wheel on, to turn it off, to what is this, all wheel drive compared to four wheel drive? What's the,
Yeah.
like all the different terrain kind of stuff. I didn't even know they had those built in. The four wheel drive that I grew up on was manual. So
Yeah.
you got out,
Got out, had to
turned it,
turn it.
yeah, on the front wheels,
Hmm.
to lock them in.
Yep.
And even in the military, when I was in the military, the Humvees that we had, the first ones, and
Mhm.
the pickup trucks had those. Well, not the Humvees, but the pickup trucks that we had. That we had to turn turn the thing
Yeah.
on the axle, whatever, on the
Now
outside of the
it's
wheel.
for at least for the Bronco, it's just a bloop,
Yeah.
turn a dial, even
Yep.
gauge four-wheel drive. You can do all the other stuff. They even have like trail turn assist. So if you're going around a really tight turn,
Yeah.
you can turn on the or the turn assist, and it will actually lock up your rear like one side tire. So as the others are like turning, it just kind of drags, so you can do a really sharp turn
Holy
and stuff like that.
shit.
Yeah, it's
That
got some
is
pretty cool
smart.
stuff.
Yeah. Because, I don't know if you remember this, probably 5, 10 years ago, maybe longer, I don't know, but somewhere in that time frame, they were talking about cars having the front and back wheels turn when you make a
Hmm.
turn, so it would kind of maneuver
Yeah,
better.
yeah,
And I'm sure they have some like that, maybe sports cars or something, but, a turning radius on the four-wheel drive vehicles is an issue
hmm,
because a lot of them, the front won't turn very far because the four-wheel drive puts so much strain on the
yeah,
like
yeah,
the U joint and all that,
yeah,
whatever
yeah.
that has to engage, and so you don't have because you can feel it. Like I have a '96 Grand Cherokee, and when I put that in four-wheel drive, the low,
Mhm.
and I turn the wheel all the way, man, it's rough. It
Yeah,
has a hard
yeah,
time kind of engaging and turning that much.
yeah. Yeah, that was a fun adventure. We also drove by a ghost town out in, I guess it was also in Utah,
Yeah,
and it was weird. It was just like this abandoned town that used to be a place where people would go. I think it was for mining. It was mining something,
yeah,
and then some highway got built to where
mm,
it made it easy where people could go do something else, and
right,
like everyone just abandoned that town. So there was no one there, and it just had spray paint everywhere, like "keep out" and stuff. And it looked like a tornado went through there because it was all just run down and stuff. So
yeah.
naturally, we go driving through it because we're like, "This looks awesome." And so we're driving around. There's like a weird little shack that has a post office number, and we did some research. Turned out that's an actual post office that
Holy
people will deliver
shit.
stuff to. Because we found out that town has one resident, and it's because she bought the town just on a whim. Found out how cheap it was because we were like, what if we just bought this place, like, and say we owned a ghost town? But
And make it into an airsoft field.
yeah, we just had one person beat us by like 2 years.
Oh
She found out
shit.
about it, and she was like, and she's not. I think I probably make more money than she does.
Yeah, yeah.
She just was like, she's an artist, so she was like, I'm just going to buy this town, and bought it, and now lives there and does like art retreats and stuff there.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's just kind of weird, like, ah, dang it, we were like, we could have owned this, like,
Oh,
this would have been
dude,
cool.
there are many places like that throughout the US.
Yeah,
I mean, you got to find them. But yeah, the when they built all these freeways, there's a lot of, that story is very common.
Yeah. It was just
Yeah.
the first time we just happened to randomly roll up on one.
Yeah.
We're like, what happened to this place? And then it has its own Wikipedia page. Like,
Oh shit.
so we read up on it. It was like, oh man, this is kind of neat.
Did you
It
guys
was
take
weird.
pictures or videos?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I
We
wonder
took
if
a
Gibbs or if he would put that on his. I know he's got an Airsoft channel, but
yeah.
I'd love to see it.
Yeah, I mean, we got a bunch of 360 footage of. I
Oh,
mounted my
nice.
360 camera on the dashboard so we can see outside and
Yeah.
inside, and then I also mounted some GoPros on the side. It's just one of those things that like one of these days I'll sit down and go through that video,
Yeah.
and I need to. I do these family end of year videos
Oh,
where at the end of the year I do like a 5-minute compilation video of all the
yeah.
videos I've taken from that year. So every year I have like a 1999 video, a 2000 video, 2001 video, with the idea of just having some kind of compilation video. So as our son grows up, he can
Yep.
see like his self growing up, see like what mommy and daddy did before he was born and stuff like that. And it's also
Yeah.
nice, for me just to go back and kind of relive some of those memories of like I'll think like, I didn't do anything this year, and then I rewatch the video, like, I did do some cool
Right.
stuff. So it's just kind of nice because I grew up popping in home videos, VHS tapes, that seeing old stuff when I was a kid. I always thought that was neat. Um,
Absolutely.
Seeing all this time before I could remember. So I just like I'm gonna start doing that now. So when kids get older, they can kind of see family videos easily. Because right now it's just a
Yeah.
hodgepodge of Facebook videos and stuff like that. So I figured if I just had a little more organized every year
Yeah.
and have a family video of every year, it'd be nice.
Yeah. I'm the same way. I did the like slideshows and stuff for
Mhm.
Christmas or somebody's birthday or whatever, and put music on it, whatever. But over the last like 5 years or whatever, I was taking pictures of the old pictures in photo albums. Making
Yeah, yeah,
digital copies, I guess. So I would take a picture of the whole page and then zoom in, crop this one,
yeah,
then crop this one, save them individually, because those, like what you're talking about, where your kids can have something to look at, where when I grew up, and I'm sure you too, you have your grandparents like looking through a photo album, like, oh, this is your grandfather when he was like 20 or
yeah,
whatever. This is the me and him when we first got married or whatever. I wanted our kids and my grandkids to have videos of
yeah,
us so that they could watch those, and we talk to the camera, we whatever,
yeah,
for a party or a birthday party or something, and they could watch that and go, wow, they don't have to have somebody explain it. You just put it on,
yeah,
so at 7 years old they'll understand, especially in our day now, where these young kids are used to watching these videos and kind of learning from them.
yeah,
So I have this whole thing, and I actually have one of the things I did when I was sick. Uh, I was laid up in the house. I had never been into a journal ever. I was
mhm,
like, a diary, what the fuck? No.
yeah,
Uh, and then I was laid up. I'm like, roid raging. I was like, bro, I need some kind of outlet besides
outlet,
just
yeah,
editing. So I got this, bound, like
mhm,
leather bound book, and with old style paper,
yeah,
and I started writing in it. And I look back on it now. I'm like, I don't know when I started this. It was like 4 years ago.
mhm,
And so then I took that and started typing whatever was in there into a Word document to save. And then there's a page in there actually that I have for my kids or my wife if I'm gone, where they know all my password for, like,
yeah, yeah,
well, I have one password for the main,
yeah,
thing
yeah,
that I have, like a password keeper
yep, yep,
online, and then and that'll give them every access to everything.
mhm,
And so anyway, but yeah, I'm all into that, where my kids can have these photo albums and videos and
yeah,
all that
yeah.
kind of shit. That's cool, man.
Yeah, because I mean, I also had, for it wasn't a lot of pictures, but it was a handful of pictures of my dad had when he was in the Marines,
Yeah.
because he did crazy shit when he was in the Marines. And, like, there was one time whenever you're on ship and you cross the equator, you do some Navy ritual.
Yeah.
And so there's pictures of that where he's got like puke and cow guts all over his face, and I'm like, what happened here? You know, and then he'd tell
Oh
me the
yeah.
story and stuff like that. And so, I enjoyed that kind of stuff. So like I create, that's kind of the same deal. Like I want to have something where he can watch and see the things like Daddy going down this crazy cliff in a Bronco and stuff like that.
Right.
Um, yeah, that's good stuff.
Really cool, man. It's been awesome getting to know you.
Hey man, this is good.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Well, this has been a few weeks in the making. Trying to figure out a time and whatever. But I definitely wanted to talk to you about the cupcake thing and the juggernaut suit. And,
Juggernaut life. Yeah, hopefully
Yeah.
we'll have some more video. May try to do it again before it gets too much hotter.
Yeah.
So we'll get some more video.
Awesome, man. Well, thank you so much, dude.
Awesome, yeah, man. And
So do you
I know you've talked with Gibby and John, and so sometime or another, if you're ever up this way, let me know and I'll set up the game
Oh, that'd be
so
awesome.
we can all play.
Well, when Gibbs and I talked, we were talking about him doing that alien thing, that he's,
Yeah.
where he's got those alien doll things or whatever. We're talking about doing
Alien
a,
blow-up doll.
yeah, I know, right? Oh, that's so wrong.
It's on brand for him.
I believe it. We're talking about doing like a reunion, or not a reunion, I guess on anniversary of when they were going to storm Area 51 in September.
Yeah.
Okay. So possibly if he gets a game set up, if we can do that in September, I'm going to try to get my guys to go up there and see you guys for that kind of game.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, let us know and we'll definitely make it happen.
That'd be cool. Well, thanks again, man.
Awesome, man.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Talk to you soon.
All right, bud. Have a good one.
Later, bro.